Welcome back, listeners. I'm Robin Black, and this is It's All About Healing podcast. In today's episode, Heavy Lifting, I want to talk to you guys today about your desires and how valuable they are to you. And again, if you're on my social media, you guys are going to see a picture of a grand piano. And I have this picture of this grand piano because grand pianos are extremely valuable, right? Our grand piano can range anywhere probably between like 3,000, 20,000, all the way to the millions, right? They're very, very, very expensive, but they're also extremely valuable to you sentimental wise as well. You're going to value it not only because of the cost, but you're going to value something like a grand piano just because it means a lot to you in order for you to even spend this much on it, correct? And that's the same way we are with our desires, whether it's a desire to be a singer, desire to be in a marriage, a desire to have your own business, whatever it is, it's going to mean a lot to you. And if you have a grand piano and you spent thousands or even millions on this piano, are you going to hire someone to just a typical moving company? Or are you going to hire someone who their expertise is moving pianos? I know for a fact that there's someone who was in the States who needed a piano moved, and they called someone internationally. They called a piano moving company internationally to fly here and to come move their piano. And I'm just like, well, I had never heard of it. It completely blew my mind, but I was amazed. I was just like, I was very intrigued. And of course, I did all the research and I thought it was amazing. But it also made me realize how special it is and how we have to, when we have something that means a lot to us, it's very valuable to us. And it's a lot of times it's, again, God who gives us our desires. So when God is giving you your desire, we want to keep trying to live it. We want to create it. We feel the need to have to make it happen. God gave me this desire. Now I have to make it happen. And this is, I'm talking after you've already done the work, after you've already done as much as you can do. And we keep trying to push it, try to make it come. If he told you, hey, I want to move to a different country, and he starts telling you that you are, because there's so many different ways that God speaks to us, whether it be audibly, whether it be through dreams and visions, or whether he's just speaking to us through signs, right? And the universe, they're all going to be speaking to us all at once. But if they're telling you that this is what you want and we want to let go of it, sometimes we have to let God do the heavy lifting. And especially for ladies, I'm going to go to marriage as well. I'm going to kind of talk a little bit about marriage and being submissive, because I had a client ask me about how to let a man lead. So I'm going to speak about that a little bit later in the word, but I'm going to go ahead and finish what I was talking about first. But when something means so much to you, you want to try to make it happen. You're going to do everything in your power to make it happen. You're going to invest, whether it's money, whether it's time, love, whatever seeds you get ready to plant, you're definitely going to water it because that's how badly you want it. And you're going to want to handle it with care as well. That's going to be your main priority is, I want this to be handled with care. Just like I said with that grand piano, you're going to hire a specialized company that's going to come in and move this piano. You're not just going to hire, 2 men in a truck to get ready to come move this grand piano, because you're going to be afraid that they're going to hurt it. They're going to do something to it. But a lot of times with our promises, with our blessings and our desires that God is telling us that is definitely ours and that he's going to bring to pass, it's about letting it go. Sometimes when it gets so hard where you're just like, I'm impatient, I've been waiting for this forever, I just want to hold on to it. Like, I want to keep trying to make it happen. I want to keep trying to bring it to pass. And I'm not saying to just give up on the promise and just, it's just, I give up. It's not happening. I'm not saying that. I'm saying is take time out to put it on the shelf. Basically, when you give it to God for God to do the heavy lifting, your desires, whatever it is that you want, you have to allow God to do that heavy lifting. Allow God to carry out that promise because he's the one who can carry it. He has the strength. He has the knowing. He knows your beginning and your end. So it's best to just give it back to him. Say, God, hey, I released it. I know you told me that I'm getting this because you gave me this desire and you've been showing me, you've been doing everything, letting me know, giving me all the confirmation that I could ask for, that this desire is mine. But now I'm giving it back for you to carry it because it's too much for me. I'm being too focused on the end result. I'm too focused on the reward. I'm too focused on the marriage. I'm too focused on how this job is going to unfold. I'm too focused and I need your help. So I'm handing it over to you. I'm giving it back to you for you to carry and to do the heavy lifting for me because it's becoming too heavy for me. And ladies, that's what I wanted to speak with you about when it comes to marriages. When God is promising you a marriage, or he's saying that, hey, this is going to be your reward. What's going to, your business, whatever it is, whatever this union is where you're going to really prosper. That's where you're going to become abundant, is once I bring this union together. When you focus too much on that union, you start to idolize it. That's when God's like, okay, you got to pull back. You're going to have to pull back because what he's doing in these marriages, how it works out when you're looking, saying like, okay, I really want to be married, right? He's taking time to pull you guys apart and he's working on you because he wants to show you his love, first of all, that he has for you. He wants you to realize the unconditional love that he has for you. When you realize how God loves you, you now realize how you're supposed to be loved. Now you're realizing how to lean on God for everything that you cannot handle. I can't handle this. I can't carry these burdens. I can't carry this stuff on my own. It's too heavy. It's too heavy for me to carry. But God is trying to get you to the point of understanding the way that you are now leaning on him, or the way that you will soon lean on God for everything, lean on God for every understanding, for you to get through every situation that you're in. Once you're doing that, once you're in sync with God, you're in your heart and your mind are in perfect harmony. And you're like, oh, I'm doing everything right, God. I'm coming to you. Every question I have, I'm coming to you to ask you to give me this confirmation. God's saying, once you get to that point, for these marriages, for the women, and really even for the men in certain situations, but for the women, now God is telling you, this is how the man that I'm going to bring to you, for you, is going to know how to love you the way I know how to love you. You're going to now know how to be submissive. You're going to know how to lean on him when you have something that's too heavy for you to carry. You're going to be able to lean on this man for that. And I know a lot of times, even I think a few of my podcasts have even said, how two wholes come together and then they have to, everybody's going to be happy together as one, which is correct. Yes, you do want to be that. You do want to be whole by yourself, but it's still about wherever you fall short, your husband will pick up. Wherever your husband falls short, you will pick up. It's about contributing. Everyone has to contribute. Even with happiness, yes, it's okay for you to be happy by yourself. It's okay for him to be happy alone. But when you get married, you still have to be happy together. we still have to be able to lean on each other, lean on us when something gets too heavy, when a burden gets too heavy, when you are in a marriage, whether you are the man or the woman, you have to be able to lean on your spouse for them to be able to help you lift it, because you're not going to be able to carry every single thing on your own. And it's the same way when I say for these women who are in their waiting season of waiting on this marriage. It's like you get to the point where you know things that have been happening to you, that the turmoil that you've been experiencing, you now are starting to see the light as to, God, I understand what you're talking about. I understand now that you're saying, when this gets too heavy for me, whether you're dealing with the kids by yourself, if you're a single mom, you're dealing with bills, you're dealing with, if you've been affected by a natural disaster, you're dealing with all these different types of things, and you're trying to figure it all out. And you're just like, God, I don't know how I'm going to do all this. That it becomes too heavy. That burden is getting too heavy, right? So you're learning to lean on God for everything. You're like, okay, God, I give it back to you. I give it back to you. I give it back to you to carry it through. I give it back to you to carry me through. I give myself to you to keep carrying me. I need you to do all the heavy lifting because it's too heavy for me. So now you're in the process of understanding how to always do this every single time. It's becoming repetitive. It's becoming a muscle memory to go to God. Here you go, God, I give it back to you. This is too heavy. Can't carry it. Give it back to you. So now once this marriage, this union comes about, everything that God is working on you, he's going to be working on your spouse as well. He's going to be doing the exact same thing. You may even, there's a lot of people who, you know, they demonize synchronicities. But if you've been seeing like the number 11 a lot, that typically means if you keep seeing the number 11, that means if you are looking for marriage, this is if you're looking for marriage, or even if you're looking for a job, whatever it is, you're moving in parallel with each other. You're moving in parallel with this company. You're moving in parallel with this significant other, with your spouse. You guys are now in alignment with one another. Spiritually is what I'm speaking about. So once you are in alignment spiritually, that's when that's how God and the universe starts speaking to you. They start showing you the number 11. Now you're moving in unison. And once you're doing that, that union is going to come to pass because you went ahead and handed it over to God. God has prepared you. He has worked with you. He has worked with your spouse. And now you're physically seeing, or feeling, should I say, physically feeling this come to pass. Now you're seeing it. And now that's when, again, the enemy is going to come in and try to mock. He wants to mimic God. So he's going to try to throw you off, of course, because the enemy is out to kill, steal, and destroy. So he's going to want to destroy this union. He's going to want to destroy this new career path that God has for you, or this new move, whatever it is. Be prepared for that storm to come. Be prepared for that fight. And you have to know the signs as to what to look for. And the best way to do that is to hand it over to God. Let God do all of your heavy lifting. And when he brings this to pass, for this union, however he's going to bring you to reunite physically in the physical realm, know that that's what he's releasing. He's like, all right, I'm now releasing my daughter to you. I'm now releasing my son to you, because now you know how to love, and they know how you are supposed to love them, because they leaned on me the way that I needed them to lean on me. And that's the same with if you're going to a new career, if you're moving, you're going to deal with turmoil, because storms, they're never going to stop. You're always going to have to deal with the storm, but you'll know how to handle it better once you move over to your new chapter. Once you're in this new chapter, it's going to be full of adjustments again. You're still going to have to adjust. Those adjustments aren't going to be comfortable, but now you know how to move. Now you know how strategic God is, but he's also teaching you to be strategic as well. So you'll know how to better game plan through everything. But I am definitely loving all the questions that you guys have for me that you're sending me to my email. I greatly appreciate you guys sending me these questions. And I'm going to try to put as many words together as I can. Some are definitely going to be poetry podcasts, and some are going to be where I'm just, I'm helping. They're just going to be helpful podcasts like this one. But I love just giving a variety because different people, I get different feedback from different people. And again, I invite more of that feedback. I really, really enjoy the feedback. I greatly appreciate it. But again, if you want to be a guest on the show, please do. And if you want to book your one-on-one, please do, or book your free consultation as well. That website is www.itsallabouthealingpodcast.com, or email me. It's allabout17@gmail.com. And again, wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, or good night. Stay blessed.